Welcome to another episode of High Frequency Convo. I'm your host, as always, Wes Hunt. And this is my co-host, as always,
Just the God.
And this is the podcast where we spark blunt and conversation. This is episode 33. Like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Spam the comments. I mean, kind of like interact with us more to make this show a better quality. Subscribe to our channel, ETW TV. That channel's up there, buddy.
Right, go check that out.
You got a few content up
You know what I'm
there.
saying? Go say, Smoke and React.
We did React. We got CCTV. We got HCW Comedy. We got some more things coming as well. And like I said, like, share, subscribe to that channel. Also check us out on SoundCloud, West Side OG. We got Full Fanatic 2. Shout out to Coast to Coast Live for performance. Just the performance. So that at the end of the day, just interact with us, man. We got a lot of things coming for y'all, but this is episode 33, and we don't want to, I don't know what's wrong, so we're going to get right into it. And in this episode, we're talking about the topic that nobody seems to be talking about for whatever reason. So we're going to touch on it a little bit. The UAP'S, and all UFO situation that's going on, and press conference and everything that's going on, the shit that's going on. But so the three topics going to be the UAP'S and UFO'S, the cover up, and why expose it now. So it's like, so we're going to start with the first one. We know what I like to do, I got the three whistleblowers, and I'm going to have their names up on the bottom of the screen. I got three whistleblowers. The first one is Mr. Graves. They're going to introduce themselves. They're going to basically introduce themselves a little bit of what they rank. I'm going to give you a little bit of what they saw, what they experienced, what their grievance is with what the government is doing right now. This is a press conference that just happened not too fucking long ago about real, tangible alien, non-biologicals, as one of them is going to state, that they found they got evidence of. So this is, I'm going to do every segment. I'm going to have one of the whistleblowers, three of them, one of the whistleblowers talking about, they can explain better than I can, then we're going to touch on it. So right now, this is Mr. Graves. He can give himself his introduction, but this is the first one.
Thank you. Chairman Grothman, Ranking Member Garcia, distinguished members of the House Oversight Subcommittee on National Security, Representative Burchett and Luna. My name is Ryan Fobbs Graves, and I'm a former F-18 pilot with a decade of service in the U.S. Navy, including 2 deployments in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Inherent Resolve. I have experienced advanced UAP firsthand, and I'm here to voice the concerns of more than 30 commercial aircrew and military veterans who have confided their similar encounters with me. Today, I would like to highlight 3 critical issues that demand our action. As we convene here, UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena. The stigma attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses, and is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony. Parts of our government are aware of more about UAP than they let on, but excessive classification practices keep crucial information hidden. Since 2021, all UAP videos are classified as secret or above. This level of secrecy not only impedes our understanding, but fuels speculation and mistrust. In 2014, I was an F-18 Foxtrot pilot in the Navy Fighter Attack Squadron 11, the Red Rippers. And I was stationed at NAS Oceana in Virginia Beach. After upgrades were made to our jet's radar systems, we began detecting unknown objects operating in our airspace. At first, we assumed they were radar errors, but soon we began to correlate the radar tracks with multiple onboard sensors, including infrared systems, eventually through visual ID. During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, 2 F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15 feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned to base. Our squadron submitted a safety report, but there was no official acknowledgement of the incident and no further mechanism to report the sightings.
And it goes on. If you ever want to watch this full video, all 3 clips come from CBS News, House holds hearing on UFO's government transparency, full video. And the thing about it, what gets me before we go into the questions is this. They say they rank, they say what they've been doing. Y'all gonna listen to them. Y'all gonna call us conspiracy theories and whack jobs and tinfoil hats for talking about shit like this. But y'all over listen to the people y'all listen to for everything else, right? Like they listen to news for every fucking thing else, but these motherfuckers can come on, but yo, this is what's going on, and this is what we seeing. Or he says not even, he says it's not an anomaly. It's about now it's routine. That means it's like it's a well-known thing that's just covered up. But what is a UAP or UFO?
Both the same thing.
You know, yeah, it's both the same thing. I'm gonna go on with Rich Cobra. You know what Candace said? That sparked their motherfucking real good thought. She said, "Why the hell they keep calling it UAPs now?"
Because the government has turned to UAPs to make it seem, so now they're making it more real. We call it UFOs, they call it UAPs, both the same thing, unidentified area, whatever the fuck.
Unidentified area phenomenon,
Yeah,
unidentified flying objects, literally
same
that
shit.
same thing.
Same shit, but you know, change the word and play tricks with the people's minds.
I do, but I also think they did it for this reason. I think they changed the words, that's a good reason why, but also, so a lot of people won't pick up on it. A lot of people pass by the UAP article because they're not familiar with the UAP
word.
I ain't gonna hold you. Until recently, I didn't pass by that shit. I didn't know what the fuck a UAP was until recently. So that's smart. It's smart. So like, they're gonna say, if they say press conference, you host a UFO hearing, that'd have been like, whoa. Because everybody said that it goes to what people are used to from movies and it's gonna start triggering something. That's why they made a UAP. So they can expose the light, but onto a certain portion. Now I mean, which I believe. You know what I mean? But that's exactly what the fuck it is. UAP, and that's why people ask the first question. UAP, UFO, is literally identified aerial phenomenon.
All the dig dog shit, same shit. That's all the dig dog shit.
They like to play the words, man. Spelling and spells for real. But like, have you or anybody you know has ever seen a UAP or UFO?
Seen them many times.
I'm not gonna lie, I seen one kind of thing, but
many times.
You see them many times?
Many times.
Like, give me like, okay, one of the crazy stories.
I've seen them so many times that this shit got me so fascinated.
Are you sure? I mean,
many times. Let me explain one time.
Yeah, go ahead.
One time, and then I'll tell you another time, but I'm gonna get the evidence of this one, and I'm gonna show you. You know what I mean? And I didn't see this evidence of this one, but I'm gonna just tell you mine. One time I'm sitting on half steps, chilling, smoking, and we just talking. And the nigga Vino's like, yo, what the fuck is that? I'm always the logical mind, so I'm like, so I look up in the air and I'm like, nigga, I don't see nothing. Half look up, half is like, I don't see nothing, bro. So we go back doing our thing, talking, smoking. Vino's like, nah, the fuck, am I seeing things? The fuck is that, bro? And I'm like, man, cause Vino, he always say he's seeing shit in the air. No, right? So now half look up. Half is like, oh shit. I'm like, the fuck are these niggas talking about? Now I look up and I still ain't seeing nothing. But I ain't looking in the right direction. Now I'm looking up, I still ain't seeing nothing. Then I look, I said, perfect music. I said, oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Lights?
Nigga, them shits wasn't lights. Them shits was dumb shit. All in one straight fucking line.
You call those the Phoenix Lights. You see shits all over the world.
And then when them shit
and Flatbush.
And then when that shit went like this, when one moved out the formation.
What color were they? White?
White. When one moved out the formation, all of them moved into the same formation. The one in the front moved this formation, they all moved. Yo.
Remember this? It was almost like shit we saw in a hotel together. Remember the 3 big lights, like spotlights?
The orbs, but it wasn't the orbs.
Well,
it was something like
I
orbs.
believe those were some UFOs. It was UFOs. Unidentified flying objects.
And then
I'm gonna set myself up.
And then they just moved. It was gone. Then one night, I'm on the fire escape. And Rose was like, yo, Ron, look out the window. And I look out. And then, you know, all you see is these shits. Goom, 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 goom. Stop. Go back this way. Goom, goom, come back this way. We like, yo, what? She called her mother. She told her mother look out the window. Her mother looking out. They seeing it. Her little brother said, yo, what is that? I seen it more than one time. Now, seen this shit and I've been seeing this shit in Flatbush for mad long now. So now I'm starting to think something is up. Now, boom. The other day now, around the corner, where 7, remember where 7 used to live? On, is that on D? right on D, right next to the restaurant, next to where the laundromat is on D. We went with that, right. So now, the nigga that work in the restaurant, his mom's on the restaurant, he working there. Vino's out there one day. He was like, yo. Vino's like, yo, look what I recorded this on my phone. Look what I saw. That nigga's walking back. Boom. He's like, you see? I said, well, that ain't nothing. Nigga pulled out his phone and said, look at this. A fucking mothership.
Ooh.
Yeah, nigga, and I'm gonna bring that to show you. And he's like, yo, bro, this shit got me so scared I don't even want to upload it on YouTube. A fucking mothership. When he's driving down King's Highway, he looks up in the air and he see that shit. And he pulls out his phone and records it. Now, I keep seeing these shits in the Flatbush area and he's seen that shit. Crazy, but I could keep going on, but I know we going to, I don't want to lead.
See that, that's a good
and I don't want to lead
segment
into that. I don't want to lead into the
That's a good segment for this topic of the show.
This is 100 fact shit. No lies, no bugging, no nothing.
And the thing about it is this. Why the reason I chose to do this show is not to be spooky on some stupid shit like that or try to talk about some other shit. Like literally, this is a big topic. It's a big topic. It don't surprise me that there's other life forms. It don't just surprise me that other life forms is on this motherfucking planet already, or visiting this planet. None of that surprise me. What surprised me is that they fucking exposed it. And that's for a reason, which you didn't get to. So it's like, if they talking about this, when they covered it up, like my man, Mr. Graves, just said, when they covered it up for fucking, I don't know, over close to fucking going on 100 years right now. And that's why, and people not enough people talking about it. You know what's crazy about? You know what's crazy if I answer if I haven't seen one of those? You know what's crazy to me? The coverage of Black China and Kim Kardashian taking out the ass implants. I've heard that from way more. That's the most. I've heard people, you do a Black China and took out Kim Kardashian took out her implants. I've heard that from way more. I've heard one person, not one, not at work, not in the streets, not one person say nothing about the alien shit. Like, not one person at a press conference, for God's sakes, not one. And it's weird to me, like, what the fuck has happened? What they say they have vampires? Nobody gives a shit about nothing. Like, Kim Kardashian's ass getting taken out of some pressing business.
That's the most dangerous thing, because what makes that so dangerous, because it's topical, well, you could carry on fast on this topic and get to certain points quick. But what makes that a dangerous thing is when the people are not paying attention to what's going on and the people can't make the decisions for themselves on what they're seeing and what is really going on. And then you have the government telling you what's going on.
Can I something before I answer this? Let me just ask something, quick fast. You just give me an idea. Is this a test? Can this be a test from the powers that be? I'm stopping saying the government. Can this be a test from the government has the people involved with it? Can this be a test from the powers that be to see how numb our minds is that they can say something about aliens? I think, like, just think about it. They did it with zombies. Nobody remember that, right? That little zombie craze that was going on. There's attacks in Australia, there are attacks in Miami, there are attacks in China, there are attacks in what you call. Nobody remember that. There are attacks of niggas getting bit all the time. They said it started with a homeless person. That's almost kind of like the government experiments, right? They do it on homeless people. So, but I know. So it's all they trying to say, and nobody give a fuck about that. Remember the mermaid thing? Nobody give a fuck about that. But like, are they trying to see how numb our minds is? They can say aliens and you don't care.
No, they know how numb our minds is. I don't want to jump ahead. I know, bro. I know what they're trying to do.
Alright, if you feel like we jumping ahead, let me just answer it, because I know you probably going to the next thing we can talk about. Have you or anybody has ever seen a European UFO? He asked us. Obviously, he has a shit ton of stories. And before this shit ends, if I remember,
and I got more.
And before this shit ends, if I remember, like, I'm gonna try to make him say at least 2 more stories, because this shit's interesting. I know I didn't hear all of them, but one time he was out there for this one too. Like, one time he was outside, his wife was out there
with the white orbs.
3 big,
3 big white orbs doing an intercircle, completely perfect
circle,
in and out of each other.
And at first I thought it was a spotlight, but there's no beams.
No beams.
This way, no beams. This way.
Nowhere.
It's just like
it looked like it was coming out the
sky,
universe,
but you
couldn't see nothing. It looked like something was on top of that was making that motion, but you couldn't see what was on top of it. You see how you seen it was a spotlight?
That's scary.
It was whatever that was, the energy. You couldn't see where the energy was coming from, but it was something on top of that was maybe in the clouds that we couldn't see on top of.
What if they were scanning us? No, I mean, like, running, like, scanning us information. Because them beams, that's just scary. Now that I think about it. Because them beams is huge. The mothership huge. Like each one of the beams.
Yeah, I agree. But you see, the thing about that whole thing is that's why I say this is a fascinating subject. And if the people really need to pay attention, let's be logical here for a minute.
It's not no fucking conspiracy topic. It's a real serious subject. They're talking about it in the news and the government.
So it's like solving a murder, right? Let's solve a murder. Let's be logical for 1 minute. If we were in 1860 something, 1492, 1310, 12 something, 11 something, 800 BC, maybe I would say they were scanning us. They're in pictures drawn by Michelangelo. They're in walls of pyramids. They're all over. So they don't have to scan us to know.
You know it's on. You know my fault. You know it's on. It's on a Virgin Mary painting.
Yes, I know. In the background.
In the background.
Yes, sir.
What the fuck is that about? Nobody asked that.
Michelangelo painted that. It was Da Vinci painted it. Da Vinci put UFOs in a lot of his paintings because he's alerting us. He was telling us something. Now the thing about it is,
it's not the Da Vinci Code.
The real Da Vinci Code. The real Da Vinci Code.
Oh my God.
You understand? So I tell you what the fake Da Vinci Code is, so you could get confused, but you never really pay attention.
The fake Da Vinci Code about the nice
is the movie. Is the movie that bullshit movie? Yeah, they put out. But it's a real Da Vinci Code.
And the Holy Grail.
Yeah, the real Da Vinci Code is in all the symbolism that he left in his paintings. You know what I'm saying? Now you get it. He was telling us about them. Whoa. Now the thing about it is this: they don't have to scan us. They already know who we are. The thing is, so it's a murder case. So they've been here mad long. They know who we are. If this was about a takeover, we'd have been taken over.
Finito.
Huh? Finito. So what is this? What are we seeing?
Hold up.
And that's why I said I can't jump ahead. That's why I said that.
Can I ask something quick fast? And this is what you're going in. Because I just think we just touched on something right there. You think that powers that be is watching?
What you mean the powers that be watching this individually? Yes, sir.
I'm talking about SUV. I'm talking niggas like me and you. Even on this,
they've been watching us.
I tell my shit all the time.
They've been watching.
You really flagged my Instagram before, right? I had to be making no Instagram. Because I said some shit like, I stopped getting followers. No matter how much followers I get, it never grew.
Yeah.
And it could be a coincidence, but I've had a lot of people say shit like that, whatever.
No, because they will pay attention to the algorithm and they will control the algorithm. They'll pay attention to everything you're doing. But at the end of the day, is the outsource of the information and everything is so vast. So now you have to understand this again. What we know as an intelligent individual. What goes up must come down. What we know, if you have power to control, you will cripple something before it can come down on its own. Because if it comes down on its own, you won't have the power. You may not end up with the power and the control. So, are we surprised? Why all of a sudden there are hearings on this?
Don't speed up. Yeah, that's coming up. I cannot get to this point. Because that's the reason I made this motherfucking video. And that's what's troubling me, big bro. Straight troubling me. It should be troubling y'all too.
Did you see the shit in Peru?
Yeah, oh man, I seen it.
Now ask yourself this.
I seen it. Like they shooting, I didn't see where they shooting at, but there's a whole bunch of people shooting at something. It was all over the Peru news.
They said it looked like the Green Goblin.
Yeah, all over the Peru news, all over the Peru, and they said that levitation things on their feet. And you know what's the crazy part? To his credit, he's been saying this. I'm talking about over a decade. He said when that fake alien flag shit comes, it's gonna be the government or whoever.
It's gonna
and
be
not
them.
the real what's called.
No.
Not saying there's not no real ones here. No real ones there. I'm not saying that. He may be working in cahoots. I'm still going speaking ahead. But listen, is the aliens here already? Is the aliens in the government, or is both already?
All right.
What do you believe?
Now I'll tell you
this is right now. This is our hypothesis.
No. But what we can't do is
educated guess. That's what I'm about to say.
Educated guess. But we have more evidence laid in front of us about UFOs than we do about the Kennedy assassination. So we can literally play detective here.
You saw the Stan Romanek story?
Huh?
You saw the Stan Romanek story, the documentary?
What's that about? No, I haven't.
Go home and watch that. The Stan, I showed Shaquem, right? And at first, all the evidence he had, the vivid evidence he had, he like, this shit's fake. Nah, he can't have this much clear footage of alien shit and what's called, and he's documented. You can Google him. Everybody believe Google him right now while we're doing this. He has documented the most alien footage or footage of the fourth kind, I believe, out of anybody living in history. He has over 100 something document videos, this, that, and that's the whole document. They show everything he got. They have voice recordings, audio recordings. And do you know what made this super realistic to me? After I was watching this shit 4 times, and on top of that, he has the most witnesses. The most times you ever seen UFO shit, like with you and Vino, He's with more than one person. It's a 9% of the times with more than one person. All the niggas on the video with him. And you know what's the craziest things that made me think, not think, no, this shit was fucking on some real shit. They have to show you what they do. They have to show you, so they show you. But they make it look like it's, oh, make you think it's fake. Do you know I know shit was real? First of all, he had PhD. I go with all of them. The PhD, they had PhDs, professors, psychiatrists, scientists. All these people that were saying all this crazy shit would make them uncredible. They was there with him. A lot of time. They analyzed him, psychiatrists. They run tests on lines. He passed all of them with flying colors. They say all the shit in the documentary. You have to watch it. All the shit in the documentary. All these fucking niggas is backing up like, nah, I'm not gonna lie. Nope, I'm not gonna risk my job for this shit. I'm not gonna risk my day. I'm like, people are working at Harvard, Stanford, saying yes, yes, yes. The niggas not lying. You know what they said at the end? The FBI, when they was doing research on them to make sure Rich called it, Rich is the fucking MIB, and they just set this nigga up. They found child pornography on this fucking.
Of course, that's what they're gonna say.
If that wasn't the most stamp that what recent niggas were saying was true, after all that, of course y'all find child pornography. His wife's like, this is insane. Everybody like that. Everybody know that now, bro. They at the end of the movie, if you child pornography is wrong with the number, I'm like, what the hell? That shows all that to try to say, and you know what, to the 85er, and I'm let you go. You know what, to the 85er, they'll see all that evidence, documented shit, all the credibilities, and they see that child pornography shit and discredit all that. You don't think they know that? They know how dumb people is.
If people believe anything that's told to them by the government.
But can I ask something? One time, 2 seconds. If he was a pedophile, right? What does that matter?
Yeah.
Like, what does that matter? Like, did you see the aliens or not?
Here's the thing about it is this. You could, you know what I mean?
You gotta watch
the problem with it is this. Fuck the messenger. Pay attention to the messenger.
He was like, nah, this shit's real. At the end of the movie, not gonna lie, bro. Like, yo.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention. Don't pay attention to the message, not the messenger. Deal with the messenger after you hear the message. Analyze the message first. Deal with the message. The message is more important sometimes from whom it's coming from. The person it's come from may not be maybe a piece of shit, but the message sometimes that. But you see, that's what makes it easy to manipulate the situation when you can discredit the person, when you can discredit their credibility and make them look like this and that. But
I'm gonna let you go on. Is aliens really here, or is aliens in the government, or is it both?
I'm gonna say this, right?
And do you think two alien species could be like good and bad?
We could play detective and know that this.
There's more evidence. You said more evidence.
It's so many evidence. It's like first when did they come into our time frame of us saying other than back in the days of the
millennium ago?
No, Drew. No, we know exactly when. We know exactly when. When we dropped the bombs.
Out of bombs.
When we dropped those bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
But Emerald tablets, they said they've been.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. After that time, in our modern day time, the UFO whole thing disappears, right? Nobody's talking about it during the Abraham Lincoln times and shit and that and boom, boom, boom. It's gone out of the psyche of man for a minute. We niggas is murdering each other, more compelled to dealing with keeping us lynched up as, you know what I mean, and shit like that. But then we advance in technology and we let off those bombs. When we let those bombs off, all of a sudden we have an influx of UFOs coming. All of a sudden now ships are crashing on the planet. Now when you listen to my man right now, I always quote him, and right now I can't quote his name. I can't remember his name right now. Steven something. I can't remember his name. That's my man. When he breaks it down, he will tell you that when them atom bombs is dropped, it lets off a vibration in the frequency that shuts off their fucking guidance systems and shit, and that's what caused their ships to start crashing on the planet. On top of the ships crashing on the planet, they recovered bodies. So to say what and
that's what the second one we talking about. They recovered bodies.
Yeah, they recovered bodies, and that was during that during that time he's talking about the Roswell crash. The Roswell crash. That's what I'm talking about. And they recovered bodies and they recovered crash. From that time, they already started re-engineering it. So therefore, we had aliens in our possession. They died. Now
there's two presidents documented that said they talked to another species, literally in an uncertified book. What you call it? I don't know if it's
Eisenhower and Truman, maybe. I think
it's Eisenhower and Truman, yeah, but literally documented, saying they want. I think it was Eisenhower and Truman went into underground, which after the crash, what you call it, and talked to the aliens under the tunnel.
And that's probably where they got that. And that's probably where they got.
Into the tunnel.
That's probably where they got that whole scene from Independence Day. When the president goes down in the tunnel, he's talking to the alien, and he's like, yo, we can work together, and he does a psychic thing, and he shoots. That's probably where they get that whole scene from. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about that shit is this. We know for one thing and two things for certain. If these niggas, if these beings wanted us dead, we'd be dead. If they wanted us enslaved, we'd be enslaved. The question still begins to say, what are we seeing? What are we watching in the air?
Is it really? Oh wait, what for?
No, I'm done. I believe that. Here's the thing that's fascinating with what you said. I don't know. Are they in the government already? Or so? I believe this. I believe that the people that are in control are descendants of hybrids of the Anunnaki that was on the planet. I believe that's what that whole bloodline shit is about.
I believe that's it. I'm gonna say this like this.
And not the bloodline of maybe say nigga singer or dumb. I think the bloodline of maybe Marduk. I think that's who.
I think, if you want to be honest, I don't think it's the bloodline of none of the originals. I think it's the bloodline of the demigods.
Who?
Of the demigods.
Are you talking about
the gods had made it with the sons of man.
You talking about Gilgamesh?
Yeah.
Gilgamesh was a demigod.
I think the demigods. I think that's what's correlated to.
Well, no, that would be that's what they come from the bloodline.
And
the bloodline.
And I think because they know that they're descendants and they still got the blood in them from the originals. That's what they make them feel like they entitled.
Superior, and they carry on the same tactics that people, like if you read the tablets and read all the ancient books, the Enlil and man, this shit is so deep because we are doing the same exact patterns that you will read in them tablets. It's continued on to this day. It's nothing has changed, and they're trying to manipulate it. But it's the same clan versus clan. That's how it was in the beginning. That's why it was sort of tyrannical trade on the black man. It was clan versus clan, the white man clan versus the black man clan, or the brown skin clan versus the white clan. The same thing that was going on back in the tablets. Clans was versus clans. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I believe hybrids exist within the government, and I believe they're carrying on the agenda. Do I believe the Anunnaki is here? I don't know. There could be. But I believe that we're seeing ships that's alien and ships that may not be alien.
And it's also reported, if I watched the whole episode, and it's not only on this, because it's been reported, they had a thing on National Geographic with ancient alien shit. There's something on Netflix right now, like when they always talk about when the government, there's rumors of the government, and the whistleblower's gonna fucking make it a fact now when you hear about it. If you listen to the whole thing, I don't know if I would play that clip, but they're taking aliens and reverse engineering.
I believe that's what
making their own. They said since the 60s, literally. So
you saw the Tic Tac UFO?
Yeah.
Stephen Greer, that's his name. Stephen Greer said Lockheed Skunk Work created the Tic Tac UFO. He said they've been had that.
Because it's on gravity.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's you see now people saw that and they thinking it's alien, but he's saying that that's not alien. That's the government.
But he said, but it's
the secret government re-engineered.
Yeah,
re-engineered the alien tech.
They have it in Avengers.
Yes, we have.
They have it in Avengers with Hydra.
Yo, listen.
They have it in Avengers. What you call it? When people went after the fucking war in New York, they started taking the alien tech and re-engineering.
Do you remember? You're right, 100%. And you see how they're telling the story, right? Now, if you pay attention to that story again, before that one.
Shit, nothing about alien story.
Before that one, right? Before that movie, the movie that followed that one, right? With Nick Fury, when Nick Fury got the helicarrier, right? Mm-hmm. What were they going to use the helicarrier? They was going to use the helicarrier to attack the people and pretend that they were being attacked by outside forces. What that sounds like, my nigga. That sounds like
the lottery commercial. Just for a few examples.
Oh, you saw that lottery commercial?
Then they act like the aliens invaded, and then they got pulled off at the end, pulled off as the alien master, his friend. His friend's like, what the hell, man? He said, hey, I'm rich.
He said, with money you could do anything.
With money you can do anything you want.
Subliminals, brother.
It's called predictive programming, fellas. But
yeah, they planted in your subconscious, so when it happens, you're not shocked by it.
Predictive programming.
You're not shocked by it.
It's a way to assimilate you without being, you're being assimilated. But I don't think it's an if no more. Like I said, besides all the hieroglyphics and the paintings. And I think, don't quote me on this number, but I think since Roswell there's been 40,000
sightings, maybe?
Sightings or encounters of the third, fourth, or second kind.
Absolutely.
So let's play probability game, right? And I'm no genius, but if 40,000 people said this happened to them, let's say out of all them 40,000, one was real. Ain't that enough? If one was a solidified one, like, yo, I got abducted. Ain't that enough? Like, fuck the whole other 39,000.
You know the irony of this, right?
39,000 fucking 999.
Let's play that rich game for a minute. 1 is enough, 2 is enough, 5 is enough. But let me confuse you. I'm going to send 10,000 that's a bunch of liars because I got the money to pay them to lie to confuse this whole situation. So now the 5 that is telling the truth will be, you'll never last, you'll never hear them because you got 10,000 that's confusing you with lies. When you could control the scenario and the picture and how this shit is painted, it becomes very clear that you can manipulate this anyway and anyhow.
It's just like with the Stab Lobeck I was saying. After all that, if you have to watch that documentary, you have to watch that. And some of the famous fucking shits on YouTube you see, like UFO footage and alien footage, is from him. You can see all them shit. All them shit you see on YouTube, people upload, it's from, I don't know that, from the years, it's from him. He has the most in the history recorded. And they locked him up. Now he got out of jail, he's discredited, now he's just a pedophile, but...
Like you couldn't make, because you know what, he was probably doing things like trying to make contact with
him. He has, on the footage, the government following him, the government approached him, then he got pictures of the picture after that shit, nose broken, eyes, he recorded every step by step by step, he put the government harassing him, sending him letters, look at you on the camera like he has too much. But you know the government, the powers that be smart, you know what, they show you all this. So it's in light now. It's not hidden no more. You know whatever's in dark comes to light. So they show you these things.
That's why they brought it into light by having Steven Spielberg and them make Aliens of the Third Kind, E.T.
They make it into documentaries, movies, and shit like that to make it real.
So they want to be able to, they know the information is going to be let loose. So you control the flow of the information and how it's let loose. You control how people see it. You control how people perceive it. You know what I'm saying? If they showed aliens looking like 9 feet tall humans, but they just 9 feet tall humans, that's a lot less scarier than some wild looking crazy or some little gray small man. You understand what I'm saying?
They tell you all that creepy shit. So when it's time, as soon as you really hear the word aliens, you like, oh, they gotta kill us. They some creepy.
I could tell people this much. Right, logic.
If aliens want us gone, we've been gone.
We've been gone a long time ago. And then if you pay attention and you pay attention to your Bible when they say you was made in the image and likeness of God, and then when you read the Emerald Tablets and you understand that they took and spliced their DNA with our DNA, then they can't look too far off from us. And then when you read the tablets and the others looked at us and said, wow, it's funny how they look so much like us. So therefore, these beings, majority of them can't look too far from how we look. But I'm going to tell you how they look, because then you'll create a perception in their mind. So when, I'm going to stop there.
Listen, it's easy, but I'm answering quick fast. Is it really aliens in the government or both? Or aliens on the planet? First of all, yes, there's aliens on the planet, or there's alien was visited on the planet, or was on the planet at one point. Due to all the paintings, the hieroglyphics that could not be replicated or communicated with each other in different parts of the world.
From all the way in Egypt, all the way to over
Japan,
here in Arizona,
Australia,
Japan,
the
Australia,
Mayans,
the Mayans, the Aztecs.
That's impossible.
That's impossible. That's like when
and then on top of that, why the fuck is Da Vinci drawing?
It's like one girl saying they got raped by a bill, 2 girls, 3 girls, 5 girls, 6 girls, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. At some point, you gotta say, even if they're confusing the situation with 80
Bill was
women,
doing something.
Bill was doing something.
He's doing something.
Maybe it was not rape, but it was something he was doing. It's something. There's no way in hell.
Everything. So Da Vinci is not going to be drawing paintings after painting with alien craft. Why draw? What is that? Around the time, what is that flying, illuminating craft in the sky behind the Virgin Mary? What the fuck is he saying?
And in the picture, and in the Last Supper.
Last Supper here too.
It's the Last Supper too. It's a UFO in the back.
Yeah, no UFO.
And then the one with the man is standing up on the mountain, he's looking up, right? When the man is painting and the other man is standing on the mountain, the man is painting, the man on the mountain standing, looking up, and when he's looking up in the air, he's looking up at the UFO. I could pull all those paintings up.
Like I said, y'all can research all this and that what? The thing about it is like, are they the government? Yes.
And what about all the carvings of the UFOs on pyramid walls, carvings of helicopters, carvings of tanks, all of that. And when so how can all of these carvings be on pyramids that's over 5,000-10,000 years old of tanks and helicopters and UFOs if this stuff didn't already exist, if this stuff wasn't already there?
And if you're asking, the category be the government, yes, but that the way I'm thinking, they don't work for them. I know this for sure, I believe that there's a certain race they are working with, whether it's a bloodline race or what's the physical planet, they got fucking similar goals and what you call it. I believe that they are trading technology and knowledge and ways to reverse engineer what they do. And for bodies. Abductions, like remember milk cartons in the 80s? Kids going missing. It's not only them too. It's not only them. There's other royals and other sick, rich people that's kidnapping these kids. They got a lot of traffic, human trafficking.
No, I believe that that's what them. I believe that.
But I believe that's why you use this.
I believe.
What's all them crop circles? What about the animals?
Yeah, they were doing
showing up with their ears removed,
I think
surgically lasered.
That was to make the aliens look like they were animals and aggressive, to make people in fear. I believe.
Either way, if it's the government, what kind of fucking technology niggas got?
We talking about. Listen to me. This nigga Stephen Greer. Said that you gotta listen to him, right? Go listen to his. You can listen to him anywhere, but his live interview is very good too, right? This nigga Stephen Greer said that we had the technology that we were showing you in the Jetsons back in the 60s. Yeah. He said already we had that technology. He said we are so far advanced with technology, right? These propulsion systems, these systems that could change the world. He said in 10 years there will be no more poverty. He said we will have the ability to power your car, power your house, and not need to pay for electric bills. This is what this is about.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, bro. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I call it conspiracy theories or not. Look up the CERN.
You can call me a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, you know,
you can call me because I'm a theorist.
Yeah, I'm a theorist.
I'm theorizing
on that said it.
Yeah.
But like y'all could think we nuts. But like I said, let's look up CERN and they power reactor collider or some shit like that. Listen, I look up the Mandela effect. There's no way in the hell it's spit. It affected me. There's certain things I remember. Niggas, nah. I'm like, nah, nigga, I remember. Then you look. Like, one of the biggest things, which I know they fuck with, I swear that, I'm not stupid. Come to me before books, I'm not dumb. Y'all messed with something. If y'all don't think we can go back in time, they done already proved that. I was watching, I think it's the Chinese guy. He's a scientist. He's one of the most famous Chinese guys. He was on the Science Channel talking about adventure like that. Like, he talk about the way they go, like, hypothetically, how they could go travel in time. By bending, I'm not fucking science, about bending the fabric what's going and it can probably punch a hole through it and it could go from here to here, whatever the case may be.
It's a black guy a black guy actually discovered how to travel back in time. But he said, no, in order to do it, you need something, energy as powerful as the sun. That's those propulsion systems that power those UFOs. You see, you need energy, it's so powerful. And he said, the other thing he said is, the only far back that you can go is as far back as the machine was invented at. So you only can go back to the point that you invented the machine, but you can go forward.
The movie Denzel Washington. Anybody
what's the name of that movie? I could never remember the name of that movie. You know what's important about that movie? You know what's very important about that movie? The most important thing about that movie was that time machine they had. Because if you read The Beheld the Pale Horse, when William Cooper found all of those files, and he found the files where he said they can go back in time, he said they wasn't talking about a time machine. He said it was a big screen that they watched the hanging of Christ on. He said it was a screen that projected energy frames. That's the same shit. When I watched Out of Time with Denzel, I said, yo, that's the same shit they had in the movie Behold, the book Behold the Pale Horse.
Listen, CERN reactor, I'll tell you, this is real. CERN made a collider, which they admitted to, which you can look up.
That causes almost to create a universe.
No, they literally. It recreates the Big Bang. They said it creates wormholes. That's also makes me think they may bring other fucking energies and from other dimensions into the motherfucker. They say it creates wormholes. Do you know what wormholes do? You know the definition of wormhole? You can go from one point
to the next point.
Where are they going? And who's coming in? Avengers Part 1 and Loki. The Tesseract, that wormhole open. Some other shit came through. That's what the fuck they created. And then the Mandela effect happens. And it literally says, if you Google it, it literally says, this is it now. And they said, the creator of the Mandela effect, people think it's going this way, but nah, nigga, and you can know way better than all of us, because this is his time. In Star Wars, it's many of them. But in Star, this is the most one that is for Tubby. I goes like, what? In Star Wars, they said, at the end, man, the most famous part, or we know to be the most famous part, Luke, I am your father. They said that it never existed. I looked on Wikipedia, you can look on YouTube, they changed it. It's no, I am your father. They try to say that's how it always was. But at some point in pop culture, it caught on, and then mad people on Reddit and shit like that start putting up mad proof of them growing up in the 80s, like, you know what I'm Look, I am the father t-shirts, the old cassettes, playing Look Up, like, so like, okay, why is that on the internet more? The Ask Him I Commercial, I'm not going up. That shit changed. Like Bernstein Bears, there's the Berenstein Bears. I thought it was the Bernstein Bears. That's one of the most famous ones. A lot of things change. They are fucking with something.
I could tell you this much. I could tell you what I could tell you what I think is happening.
What?
I could tell you what I think is happening. The one-on-one effect. The one-on-one effect is what I theorize.
So fucked with the algorithm in the Matrix.
Everything is one-in-one, right? So therefore, if everything is one-in-one, then the universe exists, and the universe is just it's like, say like water or a mirror, right? So another dimension through wormholes is just another version of you.
How much multiverse shows and
That's
shit's
my
coming
point.
out? Why you ain't doing that for?
You got it.
I think they fucking spliced that shit with some other shit.
I think what happened is this. If I had to guess what happened is this. If I had to think, and I'm sorry, but if I had to think what happened is this. Whatever they did.
I just confirmed. It was Luke, I am your father.
That's what I know it as. I'm gonna say that. The only two out of those two situations I always had a conflict with is the Bernstein Bears and the Berenstein Bears, and the other one they said why they call it the Mandela effect is because people believe Mandela.
I thought Mandela died. I could have sworn.
No, you see why that one don't work with me is because I went to Boys and Girls High School.
See, but I don't know what some things you remember different. That's how it works.
No, understand
that's literally how it works.
I'm gonna get to the point why I think it works like that. But the reason why that one with Mandela didn't work with me because I went to Boys and Girls High School. When Mandela was released from jail and he came to America on this tour, he came to Boys and Girls High School. You understand? So I remember that. So I know for a fact he didn't die in jail. So when people saying, I was like, y'all bugging. That didn't happen. So off of that.
I remember that dying. I could remember learning about him dying.
I remember it was 1990 or 1999 when he came to Boys and Girls High School. I remember that. I could pull it up and show you. But that was, so I knew that. But the Luke, I am your father thing, I remember it as, because I'm a Star Wars fan. Because I got the message wherever that nigga George Lucas got the story from, and he got the story from the Anunnakis. He completely took the whole story and rearranged it. But I understood what the story was trying to sell. But it was Luke, I am your father. I would agree with that. I believe.
And they try to say on Wikipedia, YouTube. I looked it up.
Wikipedia, why? No, Wikipedia didn't change it. You gotta understand what I'm saying.
Who changed it on YouTube? How the fuck change it? I'm up for it.
No. Can I tell you? Can I give you my theory?
Somebody's working all the time.
Nah, I'm gonna give you my theory. My theory is this: when you
move on.
Yeah, now let's move on. I'm giving my theory real quick. My theory is this: it's multiverses. There's different versions of every one of us in those multiverses. Of course. So Bernstein Bears and them exist in the different multiverses in different verses, right?
And it was no, I am your father.
Right. So Mandela could have died in another multiverse. Now what happens is,
at some point they fucked.
So what happens is knowing that we are vibrating on frequencies. Tampering with something that you don't know what you're tampering with might have caused frequency to be changed. And when you cause frequency to be changed, meaning that the version of you and the other version of you and the other verses switches frequencies. And that frequencies make you remember something the certain way. It may not make me remember it a certain way, but it makes you remember it a certain way. You understand? Because the frequency was changed. So with that frequency being changed, the version of West in that multiverse right there knew it as the Bernstein Bears. The version of West knew it here, and them frequency changed each other.
Let's play quick fast game of multiverse, because there's 1,000 not only Marvel. It's the whole multiverse thing.
There's tons of multiverse TV shows.
Multiverse thing going on right now. I know what the whole big thing crazy of multiverse.
Because there's a multiverse.
Even DC with Flash. That's what the whole shit's about when he's the multiverse.
Because there is a multiverse.
And they do something with that now. Particular program going back to what we were saying earlier. But let's just say they were saying that is another West. I just think like who said, because I believe that certain shit they admitted that shit could create wormholes, and they literally create the Big Bang. It's shit like 24 miles long, like literally. And that shit, you have to look at that shit, that shit's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, but what if this is, what if I'm not the same West? What if this new attitude, this new West, new mindset came from another dimension of West?
Could have. Facts.
Because it came out of nowhere almost.
Could have. Facts.
Which is, it's stretching it, but just, you don't know how the multiverse work from the movies and the shows I watch. Like,
yo, it's so ill.
Maybe I sat
back the other day. I sat back the other day and I looked at.
No.
I sat back the other day and I looked at my life. I said, yo, my life is ill, because the person I was growing up, and I looked at my life, I never seen this. So I said one day, I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy, because I never seen this, Ron. why is this my life? Why? And I started thinking, I'm like, and what you just said, I'm telling you, it's a possibility that the multiverse, it changed, everything changed. At some point, certain things changed.
Is the rest of us in this in this universe, and the other one is in this one, and we don't both know?
No.
Similar?
It's the same.
Or do we merge?
No.
Or do we share the same consciousness?
No.
And when it fades, did I get a little? Did he imprint a little bit of me on him? Did I imprint a little bit of him on me?
You hit it. I ain't got no. I want the pen. You hit it. It's the same consciousness, higher self, projecting mad fractals of itself in different dimensions. Now the different fractals, you a fractal, that's a fractal. No, you're still the same Wes that I knew growing up. What happens is, because of the higher consciousness projecting different fractals of holograms into different dimensions, which is God, the higher self. Your higher self is my higher self. The irony of all of it is just one. But I'll get to that later. Projecting different fractals into different universes, right? What happens is, when that frequency is tampered with it, no, you still remain the same. But you remember, it's brainwaves, it's frequencies. All they have was the frequency wires crossed for a split second. And you got some of that. You got that other West, some of its thoughts, and they got maybe some of yours. So you remembering things a certain way with not your life. And I'm telling you too, it happened with niggas. People remembering their lives differently too. Because I've had conversations with people, I'm like, that didn't happen like that. But why do I see it like that and you see it like that? It's not craziness.
Nigga, they did something.
Yeah.
They did something. And they did something, because you know what they fuck up? They overconfidence is their weakness. Because we can disagree about the Mandela thing. We can disagree about the Bernstein Bears thing. We can disagree about the Oscar Mayer thing. But there's always one thing, no matter what it is, I'm talking all over the world, that on certain points, there's a whole group of people that do that. Now, the Bernstein Bears, they're showing proof of when they had it, from when they was young. But now, you can't find one of those online, which is weird. That's why this shit is so interesting. They did something. It was no.
Yeah, they did something.
There's no norm your fault. They made a mistake. They was making experiments, and they realized that we crossed dimensions and multiverses somehow, but it wasn't that much of a noticeable difference. So it's easy to pass on the public.
Mm-hmm.
And they stopped. And I'm pretty sure they perfected it by now. My whole thing is this, all right? I'm pretty sure they wasn't trying to do it to motherfucking mess up the birth.
No, nigga, they trying to figure out how to create wormholes to get to other dimensions. So by doing that, you're gonna tamper with shit that you don't know what you're doing with, and that created frequencies to be interact. It created the two Spider-Mans to share for you to get an experience from the other Spider-Man. The other Spider-Man get an experience from you, but you remained yourself. But you got thoughts that what the fuck? Why do I remember to be REN and not be EAR? Why is that coming to me? Why in my world? And now look at it like this. Why in my world did Mandela die in prison? In this world, Mandela, don't you see the semblance? One world he dies in prison, the other world he's set free and comes home. Goes to the only black school in motherfucking New York City, which is boys and girls at the time. You know what I'm saying? How is that?
Okay, and think about his experience. I believe that he saw him into his high school.
Yeah.
But why do I remember so vividly that he died, and I learned that in high school? What are they doing? And like, is it that I'm going crazy? I smoke too much weed.
Now here's the thing. Now
that's what they want you to think. I know
you
I'm
did not
wrong.
learn
Or maybe I did it.
Or
maybe they mixed it in. Maybe
the other guys learned it in.
Oh, that's scary. You know what I mean?
But you got it now.
That's scary. Maybe. That's scary. And what's the other one spazzing out right now and saying, yo, I remember them dying.
Yeah, what if is the other one a conscious West like yourself? Or you know what I'm saying? Is the other one a conscious West like yourself? Or is the other one not conscious? Are you the conscious one?
We're gonna move on, man. That's UAP'S, or if you wanna call them UFO'S. I'm gonna move on to the cover-up.